Only 7 minutes behind schedule. I'm such a fucking animal, you guys. I'm such a goddamn machine. I promised 1 p.m. Here I am, 1:07, bright and early. Captain Obvious 6, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Doghouse, my friend. So, today, like many other days, we are doing deck roasting. Here are the rules that we will update as more of you absolute bastards convince me that there are additional necessary rules. The last rule we added is that Cyborg is a master manipulator because they showed us a deck that has no business functioning. Not a single piece of business this deck had functioning. But it did function because they were able to convince people to let a 1/1 Death Toucher hit multiple turns in a row because the deck's cute. I can only aspire to such heights of manipulation. I try to do that, you know what happens? Doomblade happens. What's up, Vital Farms? Thank you for coming to the stream. The first person on deck today is Crazy Moose. I'm going to post the order in the chat, but we're going to give it like 2 minutes. And if the order as written is not here and present to get verbally beat down, we will just begin going with whoever is here. So going into Twitch chat, here's the order right now. So D2 Vincent, you are the first up that has checked in. So if in like 2 to 3 minutes, Crazy Moose or the 4 best game has not shown up, then we will start with you. What's up, your mom? Thank you for coming to the stream. Willpower, I'm very glad that you ended up being here. The Decked Out episode was good. I'm still trying to figure out what good time boys are, though. Listen, Harvahall, once you officially are one, you'll understand. Until then, you just gotta let the good time boys roll. Manlord, I'm very sorry you have to work soon, but I have good news. There are VODs. My sibling in Adenalcium. You can enjoy the majesty of me being vaguely rude to everybody well after the point. Oh, you're in Spain. Well, that's cool. That's pretty fun. D2 Vincent, just glad I was able to get my deck's existential crisis out of the way. True. Cosmere mentioned Woo. I've read, so in the last like 2 weeks, I've read 3 of the Wax and Wayne books because they're relatively short. They're only like a couple, like 200 to 300 pages each. And I am obsessed with Wayne. Wayne is my new bestie. If anything more happens to him, I will be so mad. I texted one of my friends when I started reading the new there's the order. That should go to YouTube, Ashes and Leaves. It'll go to Twitch again too, but you know, as long as we get it to YouTube, that'll be good. So I started reading it, and I texted somebody. I texted one of my friends. Wow, I'm so glad that there's finally a Sanderson series where they're not going through horrific and terrible trauma outside of the prologue of book 1. And then I got to book 3, and I am in hell. I am on fire. Things are not fine. I'm so mad. I finished book 1 and I was like, oh, it's such a breath of fresh air to get a series where everything is just like generally sick and cool for all of the protagonists. Book 2, I was a little on edge, but still thought it was gonna be alright. Book 3, I'm mad as fuck. Now I'm getting to the end because I want recompense. Dude, 2 things Sanderson cannot resist in the world. traumatizing his characters, just dragging them through the emotional mud, and a grand conspiracy. Because preface of book 1, he goes, this is going to be a tightly focused story. It's not going to be this big overarching thing like Stormlight Archive. And here we are, still in a multi-planetary conspiracy. Man said tightly focused. Tightly focused like a fucking 10x zoom lens. How are you liking the Mistborn trilogy? I mean, this is the continuation of that. The Mistborn trilogy was the first Brandon Sanderson book I ever read, and that is what hooked me immediately. I read book 1 of the Mistborn trilogy, and I thought, oh, this is good enough to keep reading. I read book 2 and thought, wow, this is pretty good. I really want to see how it ends. I finished book 3, and I thought, fuck this guy. This dude is a goddamn evil mastermind. I hate him, and also I need to read everything else he has ever written. Willpower, I have read Warbreaker. Yeah, I have read Warbreaker. I read it, I think, like a month ago. Really liked it. Still have like 1 or 2 bits I need to do. So Willpower, one of my mods suggested, my boy Bean suggested, and I took this under advisement, and it was really worth it. But there's a song called Achilles Come Down, and it's like 6 or 7 minutes long. And if you just loop that for your entire reading of Warbreaker, it goes hard as hell. It goes hard as hell. Just hours of this track in your head while you read that. Zevin, I do believe I got your email, yes. And I think you're going... Let me open up my email. Under the name Outer Zevin, or maybe it was Undead Zach. Yeah, I see you. I still need to schedule you, so... Spellbreaker, you are so real for that statement. One of the things I angrily text my friend all the time is how he keeps fucking just sliding in the Mormonism there. But alright, I still do not see... What's up, Delory Games? Thank you for coming by this stream. I still do not see our friend Crazy Moose or the 4 Best Game. So we're going to open with D2 Vincent in order to get the ball rolling. Are the decks being reviewed linked anywhere? I think I want to make Dino Nuggies. Let me... Spellbreaker, you and I could talk about this for 2 hours. I was like, what do you mean the priests are actually based as fuck? What do you mean? What do you mean it was that damn conquered indigenous population that you had to watch out for the whole time? That shit was hilarious to me. It was like so dark. Like, it was also... because it's been so done to death the other direction, it was an effective subversion, but I did have to put the book down and be like, did he really just go, it was these damn sneaky indigenous populations? And actually the theocracy knew what was best for everyone the whole time? Is that what we did today? Delory Games, thank you. Darissa, thank you for coming by the stream. What's up, Hugo? I mean, Spellbreaker, do you listen to Wit? There's no point to the story. Art doesn't have a point. Nasty Bird, Tez91, thank you both for the Twitch follows. Welcome to the doghouse, my friends. 4 best game, you are here. Alright, we're going to start with you then. So for anybody who hasn't been here before, you give me a power rating, a primer, and your deck's vibe in one word. We do not accept a power level of 1 through 10 because numbers are fake and bad. What we do accept is silly, spooky, or scary. I will then judge you based on how accurately you have rated your own power and how much you have adhered to the gimmick you gave me in your primer. We're going to start with the 4 best game, who has sent in a spooky deck that says Rakdos Blink. Are there any real blink effects in these colors? No, but I have colorless options and clone options. The Golden Argosy is somehow the best card in this deck. It's mostly filled with ways to get value from the fact that no one can legally hit me, because Cardor is funny when you blink him. So we're... So Secret Control, for those of you who don't know, Cardor makes everything swing against somebody that's not you, and drains life when these attacking creatures die, which is a little bit horrifying. I love it because the game's got to move forward, but I do want us to be so for real and recognize that this is a control deck. 37 lands, it's a responsible control deck. Let's see if we have tags. You fucker. Bounce lands are peak? What? Fuck you. What the fuck? I swear to God, if I see more than a single one. Is Tomer hiring you guys? Alright, good girl. No bounce lands. Painter Kirby is here to draw. This is a good pun. I appreciate this pun. If I end up appreciating nothing else about this deck, I appreciate this pun. Spellbreaker, bounce lands can be awesome. Nobody brings enough things to justify the bounce lands. If your bounce lands are meant to bounce MDFCs, fine. But motherfuckers will put in bounce lands with 1 MDFC and then be discarding to hand size on turn 2 like an asshole. Alright, so 15 card draw spells. I like that. We'll call this half a card draw spell. Moose, you're here. You'll be next. This is all highly responsible. You're earning a lot of points right here. Tarkir block. Shoulda is poisoning the water. I swear to God, Shoulda's Tarkir deck is poisoning the fucking groundwater. This is honestly good. This is a good politics piece. Hey, you want some free combat triggers? Stigma balls is always reasonable. This counts as ramp right. Yeah, sure. I like Savarok's Tome introducing the initiative for no goddamn reason other than to complicate things. That's real and based of you. Blink Engine. So we have 9 things. Myriad. Yes, that's Blink. Making multiple copies that we sacrifice. Yes, that is Blink. Okay, actual Blink. Fake Blink. The Argosy. Oh, more actual Blink. All right, so we're doing red copy Blink. That's how we're making this happen. Oh wait, more Rakdos Blink. Okay. What the fuck does this have to do with Blink? Oh, are these just other things? Oh, these are just other targets. Okay. Yeah. Oh, so we have We truly have an initiative sub-theme here. Oh fuck, they removed Cardor. I think I like give me back my fucking closet. Yeah, we desperately need. We either need Conjurer's Closet or the Argosy. We're either closeted or we are deep in the Argosy. Yeah, I think this ramp makes sense. It's definitely, why do you hate the closet? Do you hate gay people? I would firmly stand by you saying that anybody attempting to remove your closet is committing a hate crime. Yeah, this is all of the red instant speed interaction. No one can hurt me, so time for value. Do you guys see how much room you can have in your deck for silly on-brand stuff when you don't have to worry about doing damage ever? I'm looking through this deck and I'm thinking, wow, there's so many. They have so many cards. They're covering all their bases so well. And then I realized it's because the amount of combat damage they need to deal is -2. And the amount of combat damage that's going to be dealt by forcing their opponents to slap fight for their pleasure is 1,000,000. Alright, that's our free mulligan. We'll keep this one. Let's surveil. Oh, fuck that. Yeah, we'll boomer scrapper. Now we get a junk. We don't have to pay to sack the junk. So turn 4. We don't have a lot of. We do not have a lot of phenomenal things to do. I'm going to dump this. Yeah, fuck that land. Turn 4. I'll swing Boomer Scrapper, and let's, for the purposes of being fair, let's assume that we have to Virtue of Persistence to make this guy not die so that we can make another junk. So this is on an adventure. Next turn, we have a protection spell. We're going to sack the junk. Wallahi, we are saved. Alright, wallahi, we are saved. Alright, Conjurer's Closet, it's fucking time. So now we play our commander. We counterspell the counterspell because we're fucking chads. We go to our end step. We blink, re-getting the ETB effect we already secured. Now we play this, and now we're just like... Now we're sick as fuck, right? Free Vandal Blast. We have a way to get the closet. We have a way to get either our commander or the closet back. And we have Virtue of Persistence mana. So this is alright. So this really this is a fucking listen. Listen to me, 4-best game. Let's go to the deck personality matrix. I love it. I'm with the deck. You belong here, and I think we all know it. Because if we look at what those turns were, those turns were hang out until I get ETB control effects and everybody else is forced to die. This is the type of stacks that belongs in casual. This is the type of control gaming that I will accept in my at casual tables, because you are stopping people from doing things, which is the control aspect, but the thing you are stopping is you are stopping the game from stalling. You are forcing the game to move forward at every point. And I am with that. We are like... So we're going to take the initiative. Next turn, like, fuck the commander. Splinter Twins legal again, baby. We're gonna take the initiative back, and then we just go through the initiative until we fucking win. And maybe, like, if they ever kill this person, then we can do Cardor, Blade of Selves, Cardor, Helm of the Host. So, my favorite bit about this deck is that this main plan can totally fucking break down, and the plan of rakdos control keeps on chugging along. I love when a motherfucker makes Monarch in the initiative work. I really like saying I'm gonna do Rakdos Blink, and you've done about as close to Rakdos Blink as you possibly can. Oh, Carter sees its own dying copies. And so you hit the whole table for 6, right? Because 3 Cardors see 2 Cardors die. So it is swing my commander. Each person loses 2. I gain. Oh no, it's each. Everybody loses 6. I gain 6. That's phenomenal. This is hot. You are going to hell. You are going to prison. And we're putting you on a list as a registered stacks offender because this is a stacks deck. This is just a stacks deck with. Hold on. Other people are playing stacks. You're playing stacks. We're playing real shit today, gamers. We're playing courts. We're drawing 15 card draw is the realest shit I've seen in my life from a Rakdos player. This is amazing. Good job. We're gonna move on to Crazy Moose's deck, which is also spooky. As a green Simicator to a blue Simicator, there comes a time to set aside our differences against a common enemy. Thus, I have taken it upon myself to forge a weapon of great evil to perform such a task, one that will put fear and hatred into the heart of Simic. If we are to outrace the cheetah, we must cut off its legs. Alright, that's a hard line. If we are to fight the monsters, we must rip out their teeth. If we are to eat the rich and take their land, we need a hungry, fat dragon. Oh my god, is this Thember Chad? The deck in one word is hatred. Give it to me. It's Thember Chad. I'm so fucking happy. We just sent in decks that make me happy. Armageddon Insurance. Make everything infinite. Okay, so counters on Blight. Oh, when a land is put into a graveyard. Oh my god, is this mass land destruction? Bolshevik Revolution. Non-basic land hate is real and based. Metal detectors. Okay, search. Rock collection. No, it's because mountains are rocks, Willpower. Think for a moment, Will. Gauntlet of Power is incredibly bold. Themberchot's Landing. The Boston Tea Party. No islands, no islands. Any land. This is a good choice. Honestly, I would love to just tap, untap, and tap this over and over every single time. More land hate, more land hate. Honestly, the non-basic lands have it coming. Stone Rain and Commander is fucking insane. So really this is... It is hilarious that the Land Destroyer is playing a ramp deck. Because this deck looks like... Okay, I ramp into casting Themberchod and winning the game. Equal the number of mountains. Alright, Pilgrim's Eye. We get a basic. We'll say that's the basic we got. I think we need to do something other than play land. This is fucking a landfall red deck. Oh my god. We would have exiled two. So we get Boil, we get Conjurer's Closet, so we can flicker the Pilgrim's Eye. We're making treasures and 3/1s. Okay. I'll try one more playtest. I have some issues. I'm not sure if it's with the deck or if I just have problems with Crazy Moose as a person. But I have problems with one of the two. And I think the only way... I think to identify it, we gotta run it back. Mr. E, we are not going to be playing Arena today. We are staying focused on the deck roast grind. This is 4. Guess we can... Oh, no. I guess we crack Expedition map. Fuck it, we got a basic. I think the... Or why would we do Sulfin when we can do this? And then we have a doubler. Wake of Destruction is so toxic. Destroy a land and all other lands with the same name is truly, truly awful of you. Also, Darth Pius, thank you for the 7 months in a row at Tier 1. Welcome back to the dog home. And Bruja, what's up, bitch? Thank you for the 13 months in a row at Tier 1. Welcome back to the dog home, you sick little nerd. Always Forrest, good man. Alright, so what I would say... I would honestly say right now, this deck is silly rather than spooky. Because... this deck, both playtests we did, was 4 turns of land pass before we started to play setup pieces. And then at that point, we begin to wind up a big cartoon fist. And then on like turn 8 or 9, we begin to swing it. And without our setup pieces, this is land pass for 6 turns, and then we do a soft board wipe after 7 turns. And I think that is relatively silly. I'm trying to think of what exactly it needs. I think you have... It depends on if you want to make it better or if you want to hold on to the deranged irony of having a land ramp red deck that does land destruction. Because you have a lot of stuff that cares about how many mountains you control when you're in a color that cannot really put multiple lands onto the field a turn outside of specific effects like Sword of Hearth and Home. You may have like one additional thing that lets you put lands straight to the battlefield. Yeah, like Burnished Heart can do it. But for the most part, couldn't find a big land hate commander. Yeah, so I'm not saying you don't have to switch off of Themberchad. I love Themberchad. What I'm saying is because you do not have a good way to capitalize on landfall, like Jaws of Stone is really unlikely to pop off unless you have a damage multiplier. Seismic Strike, also really unlikely to pop off or really get you to like win a game unless you have a damage multiplier. And you've brought one damage multiplier and you've left out all the other ones. And so I think you would be better off with more damage doublers than more mountain effects. Like you have Themberchad who cares about how many mountains you have. I think that's probably enough. Moose is in YouTube chat, dear Brand. In terms of if you want the deck to be functional, don't drop any of the land hate. Keep all the land hate. If anything, look for more. But I think you've got a lot of stuff that wants you to have a lot of mountains, and best case scenario, you have as many mountains as turns it is, and it is more imposing to lay down an additional damage doubler for Themberchad than it is to say, haha, I spitting earth to deal 8 to your commander. Like red has plenty of shit that can bolt hard. And I think you would rather have Themberchad hit twice as hard in literally every situation. Yeah, more damage multipliers, less mountain bombs, because mountain bombs kind of suck, and I don't think they're the gimmick. If the core gimmick was mountain bombs, then we could find a way to make them work. But I think the core gimmick is fuck all these loser ass posers. Fuck all these posers who keep playing with leaves and water and the power of the sun instead of the power of rock and stone, brother. And that's what we need to do. And so if we're gonna do that, I would get rid of the mountain bombs, and I would do things to make Themberchad hit harder. They have boiled there, Brand. Canoptic Wraith. This would be a good piece of ramp if you don't have it. But even then, I think you'd be better off. Like, I think Canoptic Wraith should replace Wayfarer's Bauble or something like that. And then, as always, I think card draw would be better than some of these like really expensive, than some of the other expensive things, because this is a deck. This is a deck that certainly this is a deck that can definitely be drawn in the wrong order, because if you don't hit any of these setup pieces, it is just like womp womp as fuck when you resolve Themberchad and it just does 7 damage and then gets shot and then you hang out. And so I think a little bit of that faithless looting, thrill of possibility, big score, all that stuff would be very good for you. Canvaros, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Mald, as a man who has affection for mommy characters, when will you see the beauty of big Hydra mommy progenitus? She just wants cuddles. Real question, what's your 3 favorite kinds of cheese? Pepper jack, say mozzarella, and Gouda. Spellbreaker, the change from barbecue to graphic novel was specifically for, their name is escaping me, but they had a Cauldra deck that was incredibly thematic, and the feeling that I was overcome with was based on the primer they gave and then how the deck played. Like, it should be a book. It should be a book that you give to people. I'm gonna say who hurt you, dog, for this, but the thing is, we know, and I respect it. But this is absolutely, what did they do to you that this is the deck that came out of it? We're gonna keep it pushing, but this is good hating, Crazy Moose. I think we can level up the hating to also win you games or play or remove the goddamn Simic player in the first place. We're gonna keep it pushing to D2 Vincent's deck, which is spooky. The first commander I ever built for. This was the original commander of Grixis Proliferate, but then I got sad when I took him off the team, so I built a new deck just for him. My goals: drop fast, hit hard, maybe hit more than once if I can get away with it. There's some multi-sack cards in order to keep everyone else's board state in check, and maybe just a little bit of theft as a treat. Goat Bear, thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate those Bezos bucks. Welcome to the dog home, my friend. Yeah, Moose, keep reciting the Sith Creed. Keep working. Power will free you. 39 lands. I mean, in Thraximundar, that kind of makes sense. I love Thraximundar. This is my goat. He needs a lot of help. 6/6. Whenever he attacks, somebody sacrifices a creature. When they sacrifice a creature, you get counters on Thraximundar. There is tags. God bless you. The good old no reason combo. The good old no reason combo. The good old infinite. Drain damage. I do legitimately question Gary. I know that the great Gary has a long and storied history of being crazy as fuck in all black decks, but unless you have some sort of reanimator windmill slam thing going on, I do have doubts about your devotion to black being good enough for... Oh, there are a lot of black pips. Okay. I'll trust you, because I've only looked at 9 cards in the deck. Ain't no way we put... Ain't no goddamn way we put Commander's Sphere under draw. We had to take the glasses off for this. This isn't cool anymore. Now we're in school. We're back in school. Crypt Breaker. Oh, I get to draw a card. I get to draw a card because I have 3 creatures. All right, conditional. 6 mana conditional. Not even card draw. Key to the city. Barely card draw. Really card selection. We have blue, right? We all see. Everybody look at the island and then point and laugh. Skull Clamp is good. The fact that in a deck where our primary method for beating people to death is growing them off of sacrificing creatures, the fact that we only have 1 instance of this sacrifice a creature, draw cards effect is fucking criminal. We're gonna fix you, brother. It's gonna be okay. Hating aside, it is very risky to have conditional card draw. When you force your card draw to be conditional, what you are saying is effectively, I can only draw cards when things are going well. And typically, the only times you really want to draw cards in a commander game is because things aren't going well or you're an Izzet player. And so I question the fact that really only Relic of Sauron is card positive. Is card positive and unconditional. You have one card in this whole list that does better, that unconditionally does better than replace one thing. Because Key to the City, you're just replacing whatever you discarded, and that can kind of help you with this recursion stuff, but you have very little true recursion. You have Haven Ghoul Lich. This doesn't recur to field, so this is just spend a card to undo the self dick kick we did earlier. I get the Shadows of the Past is generic value. I think legitimately all of the value that this card has would be replaced with one little give me a treasure. Let the weird goth child rob you. Because it also, cards like Deadly Dispute get you 2 Thraximundar mana faster. Like, what I would say you want, or I won't place my desires onto you, but if you want to drop Thraximundar fast, hit hard, the way to drop him fast is probably treasure generation. As corny as you're gonna think this is, strike it rich works for you. And then what I would do is I would have more things that recur directly to the field. And so once we get Thraximundar out one time, it's okay if we don't have the lands to ramp back into him to recast him from the command zone, because we are never ever recasting him from the command zone. We are doing exactly what Darebrain suggested as well. Like, this is a dark ritual. This is a, I don't know if it's mana geyser, because that takes 5 mana in the first place. But I would say rituals, treasure generation, you just on like turn 4, you just want to count to 7 once and then get him down. Unexpected Windfall is one of the things I'm getting to, because you're not just going to have Dark Ritual. You want big score, you want Unexpected Windfall, and then that's going to continue filling your graveyard for things to reanimate with. And then unless they exile him, very true, Willpower, most decks, you've cracked the code. It turns out most game plans do in fact have a weakness, and that would be this deck's, is if we're trying to rush out Thraximundar and Thraximundar gets killed in a way that we can't recur him, we are going to have to hang out for a little bit, and that is very much why we need card draw and why we need more rituals, so that we can try to count up to it another time. I would also say, like, Facebreaker, Beat Stick can also get it done. This one is a little bit of, it's not a particularly strong, but if people let you get away with this, 2 treasure tokens per combat damage and 1 evasive creature repays for Thrax immediately. Dude, everybody sleeps on Beamtown Beatstick. This card is crazy. As someone who plays it, I'm saying not particularly strong because I am accounting for how my table reacts to it. Every table I've ever laid this down at has shot it in the face because its upside is so high. Like you're looking at these cards in the vacuum of what could they do if people let them cook. I'm looking at them through the lens of how much value do I expect them to get, knowing how much the typical person will let them cook. Nobody will let Grim Hireling cook, but it's phenomenal if you sneak it through. Everybody will let Beamtown Beatstick cook. And then it will get you a ton of treasures over the lifetime of a game. It will get you Menace. Let me look at Burnt Offering. Yeah, Burnt Offering's good. So really, I think you got to decide if you want a Thraximundar deck or if you want a generic zombie deck, because a lot of the generic zombie deck cards are taking up support or taking up spots that should be used for support for this rush out Thraximundar game plan. So like right now we've got a lot of like zombie kindred going on. We don't need Death Baron. We don't need Thraximundar to have Death Touch. The motherfucker is going to be a 6/6 with Menace that makes people sacrifice things. And then I think a lot of this card draw is legitimately crazy. I think I think your entire card draw section, even though it says 12, is fundamentally smoking crack. I question Fate Stitcher's ramp just because you don't have. This is a like 4 mana rock, and I don't think you have. If you have other things, I'm not seeing. I guess Cabal Coffers. Sure. If you try to go for the Swamp Cabal Coffers game plan, then I can see why you're Fate Stitchering. I don't think you need Arcane Adaption. You definitely need Cavern of Souls. I don't think you need Diagraph Captain. Yeah, I really don't think you're trying to make that many zombies. I think you're trying to make Thraximundar, and you're trying to beat people to death with Thraximundar. All right, you'll get a free mulligan because there were no lands in there. So we have Altar, we have Lagomos. Lagomos is great with Thrax. And I think this hand highlights what I feel the shortcoming of the deck is, which is that we don't have a way to rush Thrax out. And so we're here, right? And we're gonna play ramp, but we're playing worse ramp than the green players are playing. The Grixis goats cannot afford to play the same game that the green players are playing, and that's the game you're trying to play. We need to cheat at mana. And so like Diagraph Captain, realistically, this guy's not doing much. He's gonna hang out here. We can, the turn after, we now have an infinite. See, all right, so right now, we win the game. We win the game because of a 3-card zombie infinite that is only related to our commander because all zombies. And I personally class that as you have two different decks going on. I think you have a zombie deck going on, and then you have the beginnings of a thraximundar deck. And I think if you want to do a zombie value deck, thraximundar could be a commander for that. But you do need to, in that case, it's more of updating the primer than it is updating the deck. Because I'm going off the primer, which says drop fast, hit hard, and hit more than once. Keep board states in check, little bit of theft. And the list I see doesn't make any of that happen. The list I see says zombie drain control. And that is also a deck you can play. But I don't know if that's the deck you want in your heart. If it is the deck you want in your heart, update the primer and maybe play oh yeah, so it really is multiple decks in a trench coat. It's your Thraximundar deck and your Varina deck kissing. Ruthless Technomancer is beautiful here. Helps you cheat Thraximundar out, helps you recur things. And so if you want to do a Thrax Daddy deck, I would cut a lot of this broad zombie support, and I would add in all that like big score, all those rituals, all that treasure generation, and I would keep the multi-sack so that you can build Thraximundar out, and then I would also add in for this recursion, instead of this like, oh, I'm gonna cast from the graveyard like a good boy, we are hitting them with that Weekend at Bernie's dog shit, my friend. We are, all right? We don't play from the grave, okay? You are not, you know what the green players do? They spend a card to get something back from the graveyard so they can cast it. We spend a card to get our goddamn card back. All right? You can't listen to these people. You can't let them infect your brain like this. Key to the city was to make sure Thrax isn't able to be blocked. I think key is fine. It's not that I think any of these card draw cards are particularly bad. I think it's the terrible thing is that it is like 90%. Nah, 6 is the same bullshit, because 6 is okay. 6 is very strong. 6 still says you pay full cost from for the thing that you want back to the graveyard. Like, the point I'm making is that green's graveyard recursion is I'm going to pay full cost and I am going to trade a card to get my thing back from the graveyard. Black's recursion is I am going to pay 1 mana and I'm going to say, well, I put that thing in the graveyard to begin with, so I should really get it back for free because it's not that important. I put it in the fucking trash, dude. Come on. That is the dichotomy that I am attempting to point out here. Is green is always paying full price because they are ramping. Grixis, we can't really ramp, so we have to cheat the mana cost to begin with. Also, Danny UG, thank you for the Prime sub for 2 months in a row. I appreciate those Bezos bucks, my friends. Could you also add Call of the Grave to the deck? Hey man, I could if that was a real card. I don't think it's called a Death Dweller. Mr. Reed Rock, thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate those Bezos bucks. Welcome to the dog home, my friend. Damn, how's there... Okay. Oh yeah, this shit would be hot for you. This shit would be hot. Be hot immediately. T-Rex Nixon, thank you for the Prime sub as well. Welcome to the dog home, my sibling in Adonalcium. I appreciate your generosity and those Bezos bucks. And Corplee, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. No, Danny, I think this works too, because like we do still want repeatable sack to grow Thraximundar to satisfy hitting hard. We have Living Death already, so I think Call of the Grave can work, but I think there's a lot to retool. We're going to keep it pushing to Captain's deck, which is spooky. It's a Secret Santa deck I received from my IRL playing group. The main theme is to pod tokens and get random big guys out from the deck, and if they get exiled under the commander, you can suddenly swing big with little repercussions due to the high toughness. It's built on the budget side, aside from the 3 titans I had lying around, so it could definitely be more optimal, but it's been working just fine against stronger decks. Wouldn't mind getting real advice for upgrades, although I haven't felt the need to. I love it when a motherfucker says, this is a budget deck, except for the $400 of things I just happened to open from packs. That is, my brother in Christ, the capitalism has beaten you. If we say the deck is budget, but not on the stuff I won, but not for gambling winnings. Gambling winnings break budgetary restrictions. Bell Borca, Spectral Sergeant. Note the mana value of each card as it's put into exile. Bell Borca's power is equal to the greatest number noted for it this turn. At the beginning of your library, exile the top card you can play at that turn. Whew. I'll be honest, you guys. This seems a little fair. Potentially. Okay, we got a bunch of... Oh, this is a Hot Ladies deck. Yeah, this is... Oh, Big Chungus. Okay, pod. So exile a thing. Exile 2 target creatures. That card in the battlefield. So you're trying to make... So you need to make token copies of cards to give them a high mana value, and then use that to make a strong commander. I'll be honest, this seems really tough. Okay, so Call of the Coppercoats is definitely not where we want to be. I guess Divergent Transformations kind of works for it, but like... You just create tokens and pod them away while accidentally making your commander strong via the Big Chungus creatures. So let me frame it to you this way. What I don't see is I don't see any token synergy other than I am going to pod this thing. And so my question is, why would it not be superior to have all 10 of these cards be other synergy creatures that we were just willing to sacrifice for the same benefit? Because the point is, oh, I need a creature to chaotic transformation. But the 1/1 white human soldier does fuck all for us. Until they do fuck all for us until we pod them, And we only have 7 cards in the deck that do pod, which means we may see 1 in a game. And since our commander is giving us impulse draw, we probably will. But it's not guaranteed. Or it will at least, unless we mulligan aggressively, it's going to take us a little while to get to the pod. And so what we know is going to happen is we know that we're going to have play from exile. So like what I'm thinking of is I can't remember her full name. She's a Boros legendary. Thopter Boros creature. Where the fuck you at? Oh, it's Pianalar. Yeah. Pianalar is probably the best version of this effect, but I would say, like, I think Pianalar in more ways than one clears everything in the tokens section. Like, I think it synergizes with the commander. This one actually also gives you tokens to then pod away. But even if we pretend that this was a different benefit, Pianalar, I think at the end of the game, we're just as willing to sacrifice Pianalar to try to get Sarah's Emissary out. Okay, so let's move off of Pianalar specifically. Let's put this to the test. Let's look at Cast from Exile in Boros. We want small cards. So like this guy is card selection. It can get us to a pod card. If we play him early, we can either pod him whenever we get him, or if we play him early, we can use him for card selection to get to one of our pod cards. I also think, don't you want non-creatures for pod to work? No, we very specifically want to turn our own creatures. We want to take, like right now the deck is take these tokens, turn them into big chunguses, or exile the big chunguses with Bell Borca to make them huge. And so I do think we want them to be creatures, based on my understanding of how this podding is working. And so, frankly, I also think maybe like it does. I don't think it beats Care Keep, because this is the best of like repeatable blocker every turn. Great. I think basically everything else, Conspiracy Theorist clears. I think Party Thrasher. Now this is also a new one, so of course I will not hold it against you that you didn't know about the Lizard Wizard. But Party Thrasher also clears everything your tokens are doing. Okay, so we don't have too many, because a lot of these are going to be too expensive. But I do think we can broaden this search from just cast from exile synergies. Oh, you want the non-creatures that make tokens to avoid potting into the cheapos. That is a fair point. That is a fair point, that we want our creature density to be low enough that everything we pot into is going to be really strong. So I will recant based on that. I think I did not think that all the way through. Holy fuck, we have 5 lands. We're gonna make it rock. Boros needs it. Then next turn. Alright, so we have 2 little guys to pod. Let's shifting shadow this thing. So we will sacrifice it. What do we get? Fucking a Tali. Okay. Oh, so this would be on our next upkeep. We get this. Does everything go into bottom of library? So on this... So on this turn, we get to play Borca, swing with a Tali, we exile a bunch of shit, we play some shit, we sack them, and we turn a Tali into Ilharg. This card is much better than I thought it was. I thought this was a one-off. I did not read the full fucking text box and see we just get to run this back every single turn. Stolen Strategy is real as hell. And I think that's the one we get to play from exile. So we'll play that. We'll Ilharg. We have nothing to hit with Ilharg, which hurts a little bit. All right, so what other... This card advantage... Okay, so from the point of we need it to pod, we need non-creatures to pod. I'm with this now. I did not recognize your game, and for that I apologize. I think probably what we need more than all of this ramp and interaction is better draw. Because our card advantage is 5. And that is not quite good enough. Like this deck could absolutely be drawn in the wrong order. It's a problem that many decks suffer from. But if you... They do give you a card every upkeep, but like, should Borca ever die, or you just get mana screwed, I don't think we want to rest... Like, we don't want to rest the entire... our entire value engine on the shoulders of Borca. I think another thing that would be good, return creature to... Let's look for hand first. I don't think white's going to be nearly as good as black is. It may not even be able to do it, period. Because I know that white really wants to do this with little cheap shitters. Because the thing I'm thinking of is, one, I like this. This is fun gambling. It is a violence slot machine, and I am super with that. The weaknesses I am thinking of, I think you want this. I think you want to go to your local Staples and use their printer and print out a Sword of Light and Shadow yesterday if you don't already have one. Primarily because the place this deck seems weak is if you ever pod, and really the thing that happened last game was we don't have a lot of pod effects. And so if we ever get with Shifting Shadow, or if the thing we ever pod into just gets killed, because most of these aren't repeatable. So if you like Divergent Transformations and then somebody board wipes, you can get gooned pretty hard. And so I do think at least one or two cards that allow you to listen, this is inefficient. The effect is not particularly good on average. I think this is where you want to be. I think you want more gambling. I think everything that is going to be in your graveyard is good to get back to your hand, because it's either going to be a pod spell, it's going to be a token generator, or it's going to be a good thing you potted into that the table rightfully blew your back out for. So I think this could be a funny include. It's non-creature to not interrupt the pod. I love Disrupt Decorum. I do think you need all 10 of these. But we definitely need more ways to draw cards, because I do feel like it is inevitable to get at least one game where we don't hit any pod shit. And if we ever don't hit any pod stuff, we are supremely cooked. Or actually, why am I doing this? I'll just play Borca. I guess we do have enough lands that we just kind of play the game and then eventually ramp. So we Birth of Meletis, we Shifting Shadow, the thing we birthed. On upkeep, we do all this. So we would flip into Emrakul, because it would be upkeep and then our draw step. Oh, but we don't cast it, which is a little disappointing, but it is still a 13/13 for free. And then we have it get double strike, and then you kill somebody with it. We get Soul Ring. You note the mana value. Yadara is really good here. Wow. I like this. I like this. I have no idea how the fuck you make it work. Yeah, every upkeep you exile, and that's how you pump Borca. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. I think pumping Borca is meaningless in the scale of what the deck truly wants to do. There's not enough other, like, if pumping Borca was really what mattered, we would have way more trample, we would have way more flying enablers, we would have anything that capitalized on Borca's ability to be big, and we do not have that. What we have is, I am going to turn a token, I am going to Willy Wonka this 1/1 into a 9/9, and that's beautiful, and that's enough. But I don't give a fuck about this Borca trigger, because it's not really doing anything unless somebody is leaving themselves open on like turn 7 of a commander game, and if they're doing that, you can do whatever you want to them. If you're doing that, you can just reach your fingers across and give them a little. And so the Borca trigger, I don't particularly care to pay attention to. I also, I don't even think you're going to get it big enough. Yu-Gi-Oh! Called out Chandra's Ignition. Okay, you're going to deal 13 to everybody. the Blasphemous Act players are laughing at you. The War Doctor players are laughing at you. And so I think Borca's primary use is just, this gets us an extra card every single turn. And that's sick as fuck, and it does make the deck work far better than I thought it does. And so, good job. I think you have some really hot picks. The plane cycling on Angel of Runes is great. The cycling on Yodaro, just cycling him multiple times into just getting him, is really good. I think this is definitively spooky. Wouldn't Feather be better because it lets you reuse the pods? That is a much better point than the one I tried to make earlier. I think you should run Feather. I understand it's not a big chungus. I think it is probably... I don't know, actually. You have 5... No, you don't even have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 pod spells that you can hit with Feather. So I'm not... It's like, when it happens, wow, it's really good. I am not sold on being able to get this value every single game, because you only have 4 targets in your entire deck that Feather will give you a lot of value for, and the rest of the time you're flipping into something that isn't particularly useful, because nothing else you do is targeting. So not sold on Feather unless you found... I'm assuming that you have dredged the well on the number of pod spells. So I'm gonna keep the ruling on the field. Oh, Velomachus. That is a good boy. Also not sold on Velomachus. We only have 2 targets. We only have 2 targets in the deck to hit with Velomachus. Because his power is never going to be above 5/5. Or I guess, we have more than 2 targets. We only have 2 targets that we really love, and then probably 5 and 10 targets. Oh, dark. All right, I'm gonna update the stream. I do not do the other rants while we're doing deck reviews because they take too long and get us derailed when we have a lot of stuff to get through today. So I will refund you those points, and we can hold that for the next stream. So you know what, Captain? I like it. I did not recognize your game, and now I do. The only suggestion I would say is do we want the other Titans is the only thing I would think about. I don't think we want Nulamog because we don't get the cast trigger if we pod into them. I would think about, this was suggested earlier. I do think this could be useful, just to get more benefit out of some of these big shitters. Like 1 mana for double Blast Furnace Hellkite, or 1 mana for double. Yeah, I think you have a fair number of non-legendaries. It could also hit Fire Flux to hit you with that double pod shenanigan. Alright, we're going to keep it pushing to Mercenary Hamster's deck, which is silly. A mono-red artifact deck I built with a strict $50 limit. There is no fast mana, and the most expensive card is the commander itself. $27. So Chiscoria, or Chiscoria. Well, yeah, we don't need fast mana because you can play a bunch of... You play a million 1-mana artifacts where you just make a couple tokens and then it costs 3 red. Yeah, Duretti, we out here. Make treasures. This is some good goddamn card advantage. Alright, no tags. Who needs to interact? We will simply be the problem. Yeah, we out here making artifacts to give inhumanly chunky artifacts affinity and then cast them for free. Honestly, this looks like the type of budget deck that clowns on somebody's $2,000 high power deck, because it simply does not care about doing... Oh my god, fucking Mystic Forge is in here. Yeah, it just doesn't care about like convoluted advantage state. It just says I'm gonna play some artifacts. Fuck you. Our commander costs 1 less. Our commander costs 2 less, and we have a mana rock. We've run out of lands, but that doesn't matter. We have power balance in this shit. Is Soul Ring in here? Yeah, cut this shit, though. Alright, how do I roll a d6? Roll the 2. Metalwork Colossus gets the hell out of here. Soul Ring. So we need 6 artifacts. Iron Mirror. Beamtown Beatstick. We gotta be here, right? We have 5, so they cost 3 red mana, which we have. 3 red mana and a colorless. Alright, turn 5, we have this guy. Fuck it, swing. Exile 5. It has affinity for artifacts. We're absolutely casting the Collector's Vault for free. Next turn. So we have Duplicant, which will just fucking run it on somebody. I think we swing first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we only get an artifact. I think we take this just to draw a card. Okay, so we can sack an artifact to get an artifact back. All right. So Soul Ring to draw, discard Gear Hulk, make a treasure. These 2 to trash for treasure, the Ichor Wellspring to draw a card, get the combustible Gear Hulk back. God, nobody graveyard cheats like red when it comes to random pieces of shiny trash. Target opponent may have you draw 3. Okay, so we deal 5 to somebody. Next turn. Buried Ruin. We're doing all this on 3 lands. We're doing all this on 3 goddamn lands. Swing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We definitely want Nettlecyst to maybe one day do lethal commander damage. Alright, let's see. Holy God. I believe in the deck. I still believe. I still believe. Yeah, and then turn 5, they're down 3, so they cost 6 mana, which we have Chris Goria coming out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we get this for free, so we get an artifact. And I'll tell you what, for good measure, let's just assume they kill him. Let's just assume that he's 11 mana now. Yeah, what's up, Cole? Hit me with it. And then in main phase 2, we'll play this and this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down from 8, so he's 4 mana, which we cast with our land. So we just replay him. We don't care about anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll play Spine of Ish-Sa for free. We want this guy for sure. This deck kicks. This is exactly what a budget deck should be. It picked the very specific gimmick, play a lot of artifacts, and have some big hits sprinkled in there. And it gets to fucking work. The only thing I would recommend is because you have so much cheat my artifacts out of the graveyard, I would say even more of these. Why would Conjurer's Closet work with Chiscoria though? Because it doesn't have an ETB. Extra combats would, you could certainly do some extra combat shit, but I do think we want as many things as possible to be artifacts. So we already have like Faithless Salvaging, Faithless Looting, Trash for Treasure, Seize the Spoils. But I think that there's no reason to stop there. And there's no reason to leave Thrill of Possibility out of the party. There's no reason to leave Cathartic Reunion out of the party, because I do think the weakness that I saw that a lot of casual decks have is that it spent the first like 4 turns hanging out and trying to get things going, and you do not have many good options for chump blockers or like things you want to throw down in front of people to make sure they don't kill you. And if you're gonna do that, boy fucking howdy, do we really need to make sure that your commander's game plan is going off reliably. You could do Embercleave, but it would be a great artifact. It is a relatively expensive card, but would still fall within the $50 budget. I mean, this smacks. This is the Bolshevik Uprising in a deck. No questions asked. It rolls up to a table full of tremendously expensive, finely tuned inside a garage for 18-month decks, and it just says, I'm gonna play Mind Stone and I'm gonna beat you to death with it. I don't think the deck has Helm of the Host because of the aforementioned budget. But yeah, I do think the thing that is most clearly missing is if we do not hit one of these card selection spells, or if we don't hit this wheel, we are in grave danger of not hitting our artifacts in the order we want to hit them in. So we're going to keep it pushing. Now to Willpower's silly deck. I think the Chiscoria deck verges on spooky. I think you're still in like the UI section of silly, but I think it's really close because it does it will lay some shit down pretty quickly. I don't think it puts a fast enough clock on the game to be spooky. Yeah, I'll skip the might not be your stuff. Troper, thank you for coming by the stream while you could. So Cole, before we start this deck, to your question, I have no idea why the like count wouldn't be visible on that Family Feud short. I'm not sure which platform you're viewing it on. I typically don't look at the analytics for videos after the first like 24 to 48 hours when they're released. I also do not have any control over whether the like count is visible or not. Maybe I have some type of back-end setting. Like, I know I can delete comments and stuff if I want, but I don't do that. So yeah, short answer is I have no fucking clue. They want to keep the truth from the people. But just for you, it has 10,000 likes, Cole. It has 10,100. Let's look. Where's the engagement tab? Who the fuck disliked this video? Dog, I don't even know how to find likes. I see it gives me the little yeah, it gives me the little like synopsis page. Cole McKay, getting a deck rated is a Patreon redeem, which can be found on my YouTube channel description or by typing !roast in the Twitch chat. So with no further ado, let's get into Willpower's deck. I submitted the deck I've currently built that I think will have the least amount of you calling me a crackhead. Hopefully it's still entertaining for everyone else, but this way I won't miss any live funny moments from my own creations. The commander makes spirits when spirits get targeted by spells, and I thought he was neat, so I made a cheap deck around him. The deck is made to get out spirits in lots of forms so the commander can work, and then try to target my own stuff to make more spirits, then eventually hit people with lots of little flyers that maybe have buffs sometimes. Any ideas are appreciated as always. Love the content you make. Well, thank you, Willpower. You will not leave here unfazed, aka the Ghostly Army. Well, 10 out of 10 on the titling alone. Deck isn't great, but I've enjoyed playing with it. Those are some of the best decks. Listen, you need to have old reliable. Not everything needs to be a brand new Bugatti. Sometimes you just need the trusty bicycle that you've ridden around town while people call you an asshole your whole life. And that's okay. Alright, ghostly workout regimens. So these are our board-wide buffs. Yep, and there's Mother. Just some ghost boys, aka Justifying Idol of Oblivion. 3 cards. Will, you sent in a deck with 3 entries under card touching, and one of those is reprieve, and you said This is the one where he's not gonna call me a crackhead? This is the fucking one? Okay. So phase out, phase in, make a token. Certainly. I understand why you thought this would fly. Because white does not have any cheap ways to give you cards off of making tokens. Oh, that guy's a little expensive. But you're really hard up. You're really hard up on ways to make some tokens. Or ways to get some cards just because you made some tokens. You definitely need to be relying entirely on Idol of Oblivion and Reprieve. You sick son of a bitch. Ghosts. Alright, so these are just... Are all spirits. Other spirits you control have melee, that's good. Untap everything, sure. Gravelighter, sure. Love White Fog. I love Mist. Down with that. Alright. Okay, Brother Bear. What led us to playing a relatively bad draft common? Is it just because we don't need to put things in just because they say spirit? You do know, Will, we do know the man works on himself. I just had one. The ultimate defense of a commander player. I had it. Hey, brother, I had it. I get you. Respect. I'm guessing we also just had this. I mean, I'm trying to give you some grace because this is budget. I will say you went to the dollar store and somehow found the bad stuff at the dollar store. White Orchid Phantom's fine. I can't think of a tag for these. Tap all non-spirits. This is hot. Call a surprise witness. This is hot. Make ghosts make money. Target so many ghosts. Yeah, so King of the Oathbreakers can be really cute. I think he's bullshit. I personally hate him. I hate him very much. Targeting yourself is taking the hard road. I'm not sure if it's the high road, but it's definitely the hard road. Because when I see this, what I see is I'm going to make this man a problem and then pass to you, and if you try to deal with the problem in any way but board wiping, you are just going to die. He's going to duck the removal. And so I am partial to Darebrain's suggestion of Voltron Commander. I would say if you want it to be the ghostly army, because I understand that visualization that you are creating a ton of spirits that are eternally getting bigger and bigger and bigger and you just can't get rid of them. I'm down with that. I think the problem becomes mass tapping is really hard, right? There's not a lot of spells that do mass tapping that well. Big green sea of ghosts swarming over the orcs and last LOTR movie type image. Yeah, I'm 100% down with that. But I would say getting Getting multiple hits on this is probably going to be difficult. What you could do is have as many like multi-target removal spells as possible. Because King of the Oathbreakers, the big disconnect the two of us are having right now is King of the Oathbreakers will do this work by himself. You do not need any other spirits to make this happen. You just need King of the Oathbreakers, and you need to start targeting King of the Oathbreakers, and then you need to start targeting him and targeting his spirits. And to get that work done, we don't need the goddamn drum bellower. We don't need Gravelighter. Like, they are spirits. But we can phase the tokens. You know, it's not like bouncing where we're doing it gets rid of them forever. So I would say up to target creatures. We just want to touch. You just want Orzhov. Orzhov touch stuff. Orzhov touch stuff. And it needs to be a spell. Alright, we can't do this planeswalker shit. And it can't be ETB effects, which, God, that's real tough. You already had Arn the Cathars, which is good. Oh, so let's go in here and say sorcery instant up to target creatures. Well, oh, I forgot to do partial type matches. Okay, so Allied Assault, Blessed Alliance, Cutthroat Maneuver. Like, I think you need more of these types of things to get the King's engine going. Finale of Eternity would also be great. For you, this is like, if you have any spirits, this is a triple targeter. Gird for Battle is also great. Because, like, the thing is, what King of the Oathbreaker says is turn every card you own that targets into pay however much mana it costs, make that many 1/1s. And so you probably want removal because you probably want stuff that is going to be at least moderately useful to you to cast on people that aren't you. Wow, this is all of them. So you probably want all, if not close to all of these. And then if you want to do budget token generation, you're probably not going to get the doublers, but you could do populate. I would aim to replace most of your ghosts with things that provide really meaningful board-wide benefits to all of your ghosts. So, like, Drogskull Reinforcements is good enough. Celestial Crusader is good enough. I'm on Anafenza, depending on how many non-token creatures you end up with. And then you could look for, like, other drain effects. I think Wisp Drinker. This bitch would be phenomenal for you. She's not a spirit, but she's going to drain, and she's going to give you a mana dump to turn your spirits into threats. So this could be when you go to Swarm. But that's what I would retool this to. Right now you have, like, Spirit Typal that I don't think hits I don't think it hits your the actual gimmick or the end state in exactly the way you want it to. This guy's spirit? No. We can at least arm the Cathars and hit both of these two, and then we have double spirit. We can Idol of Oblivion, and we can draw a card. We can Terramorphic Expanse. And then we can we cope and seethe, right? If nobody targets us, we cope and seethe now. Same thing. We have nothing to recur here. And so we've passed like 7 turns where we can't get anything done. And so in addition to the other stuff, or in addition to retooling, you super need better card draw. You are going to have so many tokens. We're not doing token multipliers because it's budget, and most of the multipliers are expensive. So we can hit multipliers if they're cheap, but for the most part, they're not going to fit budget. You're likely going to have so many tokens that these sacrifice effects are also good for you, but you really want the things that say, when little pooper enters, I get a little guy. You're even so hard up for card draw, you are fine with like 2 to 3 mana, draw a couple cards, because you need to get to your engines, right? Like the end game, yeah, those do not target the thing you sack. If it doesn't say target, it's not target. That is the simplest way to get it, to keep it straight. And so I think right now, this is behold your stuff, because it's lacking real adherence to the gimmick. There is a stated gimmick and there is a stated desired end condition, and it doesn't feel like that's where we're getting right now. It feels like we're getting to a point of, I had this stuff and it shared words with my commander, therefore it went into the deck. What's keeping it from graphic novel? Vibes. I will not elaborate. We're going to move on to Dumble Doritos deck, which is silly and scary. This aims to cheat out as many creatures as possible and make them unblockable through different means, and swing in for massive damage. It's like tearing off your wristband and giving it to your friend so you don't have to pay a second cover charge. I don't think those two things are like each other. I don't think giving your friend your wristband to avoid paying a second cover charge is like unblockable a billion. It's Joda the Unifier. It's $1,600 of Joda the Unifier. This is silly. This is silly. BOGO. Okay, so this is cheating out even more creatures. Oh, that's fucking disgusting. Here's our interaction. I'm gripping now. Oh, so this is our card draw. So fucking questionable, but okay. So fucking questionable. Access to every color in the game, and their card draw is the One Ring. Keep your pimp hand strong. All right, so I immediately counter the idea that you are going to be sneaking your damage through versus just overwhelming people with the tidal wave of bullshit you have. How do you even I don't think I saw a single way to make them unblockable. Oh, horsemanship. My bad, goat. There it is. That's the deck gimmick. We got one card giving them horsemanship, gang. Okay, we got one land and nothing to do with it. So turn 2, boom, Soul Ring. Okay, Princess Buttercup. Discard to hand size. Discard to hand size. Oh, we can get this guy out, so we can keep Galta. Then I think everything else we're pip screwed. Okay, turn 7. The pop off is here. We'll play this draw card. And then we'll do a little discarding to hand size. We'll play this draw card. And we'll do a little discarding to hand size. We will finally get some goddamn basics. I know where you live. I know exactly where you live, Dumble Doritos. Come into my goddamn Twitch stream. Show me this goddamn Minecraft server of a deck. I swear. We're gonna teach you some goddamn manners. Alright, we got a couple lands in the opening hand. Maybe now we'll be maybe this time we can play some Magic the Gathering. Nope. Shock this in. There we go. Now we have hit our lands. Now we are cheating at Magic. Turn 5, we play Joda on curve. We copy Joda, and we cascade into 3 or less. We miss Kogla, we miss them. We get Kira. And we would have gotten equal or lesser. We don't have anything equal or lesser, so we'll hold this back. We'll do Ramos. We will cascade into Vega. We will play this for free. Okay, so here's the moral qualm I have with this deck is Joda. Also, we're not doing fucking anything unblockable. We have a board of like 20/20s, and that's how we're killing people. Baloth, we're gonna go. This is nice primer, bro. It's a Joda deck. The issue I take with the card draw, I understand that it's like, oh, normally it's not this mana screwed. The reason I just rock with the Moxfield playtester is because sometimes you can get that mana screwed, and when you do not have responsible card draw and you get mana screwed, you are just waiting, and you generally get back into those games from all of your friends saying, oh, well, we don't want them to not play. We will take it easy on them. We will avoid bullying you out of this game because you're getting land screwed, and that sucks, and we don't want anybody to feel bad. But your deck does not have a performance curve. It has a steep wall where it hits infinity the second you are allowed to start resolving things as soon as you play Joda. Joda is one of those commanders that I fit into the warrior mindset archetype, where if you play them, it is your responsibility to build a consistent enough deck that you do not have to rely on the charity of strangers in order to murder them. And when I see a deck like this, if you get it in the right order, I'm sure it hums. You have enough ramp that I'm sure if you are drawing that in the right order, You get Joda on curve, hell, maybe even ahead of curve if you're feeling spicy. And then you try to begin casting things. But let's say Joda gets removed. Let's say you miss ramp. Let's say you keep a starting hand that has 3 lands and you miss 2 land drops. Then suddenly we are in the realm of you can't defend yourself. Other people, now some of your friends, the ones who really love you, they will put a Bowie knife in your chest for some French onion soup in a heartbeat. But most people will give you at least a turn off to hang out. They'll hold removal for Joda, but they won't kill you. They'll let you keep your teeth. And they shouldn't. Because the first time you bite down, it's going to be on their ball sack. And they need to know that. You need to tell them that. And you need to tell them, don't pity me. I do the same thing with my Niv Mizzet deck. And if you're playing in that environment, you need enough card draw to fix it when God hates you. Because God hates you as he should, because you are playing Joda the Yugi Fire. And so more than anything else is you have like a million things you could cascade into. I think you probably want to cascade into fewer things, or you want to ease up the ramp a little bit. And you need like, you got access to blue, baby. There's no reason we don't want frantic search. There's no reason we don't want to be a little thirsty for discovery. I mean, you might not, because you won't have a basic land ever, basically. Yeah, I think you have 1 basic of each kind. So thirst for discovery, bad example. But you want some type of card draw, because what you need to happen is I need to play my commander, and I need to cast 1 legendary after I play my commander. So you would be fine to have wheels, right? Played the 3 lands that are in my hand. You would be fine to have unexpected windfall or big score. Treasures are great for you. Treasures are mana fixed. And that would, if people are pitying you, it stops them from having to pity you. And if they're not pitying you, it stops you from getting doinked just because you drew the first 10 cards of your deck in the wrong order, which can also happen. And so this deck is a Minecraft server. I can see the vision. I can see how everyone's ready for like normal bullshit, and you hit them with the horsemanship, and I think that is funny as hell. Pika Puff that is in there. Yeah, there's a mini game until turn 4 to get Wooburg, and I don't always win. Yeah, so I would take a little bit of, I would just rebalance it to a little more effort towards the first 3 to 5 turns to make sure you're actually playing Magic, and less effort towards after that, because Joda's so powerful that after you get to Joda and 1 legendary in hand, this shit is gonna happen. You are Thanos at that point. It is inevitable. You are going to make it work. It is the point before then where things can break down, and I think that is also where you have left yourself very open. But I do like horsemanship. Also, fuck this guy, but sick art. We're going to move on to Nox Skyfall's deck, which is silly and spooky. Fun time of commander doing what red and blue do best. The bees! Alright guys, this is going to be an 8-hour stream as I read the entirety of the Bee Movie script. According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway, because bees don't care what humans think is impossible. Yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black. Ooh, black and yellow. All right, we'll do the deck now. Locust Gods, fucked up. Certainly part of the Is It Justice League. There's a primer and tags. I heard you like card draw. What have I told you? Every time you draw a card, you make a B. For 4 and Is It, you can have the Bee God. Patent pending. Similar to, but legally distinct from the Locust God. You make bees, draw cards, and spell sling. With only one infinite. Why do we need the infinite? Remember to consult a doctor if card draw lasts longer than 4 hours. 29 lands? 6 mana commander. 29 lands. Some 2 pieces of colorless ramp. You better have like every cantrip card draw in the game. Mysterious white powder in the Denny's bathroom. All right, anticipate. Brilliant. Oh yeah, let's check MDFCs. No, the fuck they do not. 34 mana sources and a dream. Glad we got that sorted out early. I'm glad you put yourself in your place nice and early, Knox. Okay, draw some cards, draw some cards. So obviously we are hoping this is a fucking green player curve for 29 lands. This is some Simic attitude. The amount of 1-drop draw card spells we need to make sure. Brother has a mana sitting table. This is a mana coffee table, not a mana curve. Here's the mug, and then it's just a coffee table. Bro got that mana mesa instead of a mana curve. Oh wow, look at that. No lands. Alright, 2 lands. No blue, so we're going to go down to 6. Alright. 2 lands and Sword of the Animist. We can do this. This will go to bottom. That's not a land. There's the land. Sword of the Animist. Okay. It's turn 5. We are going to have a 2/2. I'm going to swing it. And I'm going to tell you right now, this thing is fucking dying. You go to any neighborhood and you swing a fucking 2/2 on turn 5, it is getting murdered, but I will let you assume that we got the land out. Oh, I put them on the top of the deck. All right, turn 7, we have 4 lands. Let's get this bread, siblings. It's okay, we just smoke more crack. Now we have a flyer. Now we can get a mountain out. Now let's see. We'll put this into our hand. So it's turn 8. Time has traversed, seasons have gone on. We've now played Locust God, and we have some gas, and it's gonna start happening. So let's run it back one more time. Evolving Wilds, we'll get a mountain, since that's the color we don't have yet. Turn 2. Oh, no. We will anticipate, because we can do that. So top 3. We're going to Chemisters because it's going to let us keep looking for lands. So turn 3 with Reliquary Tower. I'll Cursive Verbosity. And I'll assume that you get an extra card off of it because I'm nice like that. We'll draw 2. We'll assume we draw extra. Turn 6. Okay, we get to Locust God. We've done nothing else. Surely, nobody has shot us in the chest at this point. Surely the Is It player has not been assaulted in the first 5 turns of the game, having laid down nothing to defend themselves but a single curse. We're probably fine. We will make 3/1/1s. Sick fucking plays. I mean, this is... The bees are not bringing pollen. They are bringing crack cocaine straight to your nose, Skyfall. I'm generally with you. I'm rocking with you. I'm rocking with you on everything that happens after you resolve the Locust God. I'm not rocking with you on everything that happens before you resolve the Locust God. And I do in fact believe that most of this deck is things that happen before the Locust God. This is sick as fuck. That's real as hell of you. I love Helion Eruption. Go with God. This is horrifying. We all do need to live a little. So I'm even with you on Scrambleverse. But I think that most of these... We've got a lot of like 5 mana. We've got a lot of 4 to 6 mana. This whole section right fucking here, all of this, like half of these need to transfer right here. And just need to get you... They either need to be lands, or they need to get you a little bit of card selection. You need to do something, because you have the same problem as the previous Joda player. You have the same problem as the previous Joda player, and where you can just lose the game off of not getting to the right order for your commander, or you get there but you're like the guy who's super late to the function when everyone else is cleaning up at this point. So we're gonna make... We're gonna get serious for you. We're gonna fix you right now. This is where we're at for you. This is where we're at for you right now, Nox Skyfall. If you shuffle a 99 card singleton deck, if you shuffle a 99 card singleton deck, you can have 99 different, or you can have over 1 trillion different permutations of what you draw. And for you, I would assume there are about 3 of these permutations that work. With 29 lands and all of our card draw starts at goddamn 4 mana. What type of simic fucking bullshit? I love what you're doing as soon as you get there. As soon as you get there, awesome. Until you get there, bro, you are so fucked. You are so gooned, brother. You gotta stop doing this to us. I would tentatively suggest 33 lands, twice as many card draw spells that are at 2 mana. And then it'll hum. I really love Hellion Eruption. I think that is the piece of this deck that has a special place in my heart. All the other cards in this deck have special hate in my heart. Right, Weave Fate, 4 mana draw 2. We're not getting to 4 mana. There's not gonna be a wedding, you stupid bitch. You do also get points because no Soul Ring. God bless you for that. God bless you for Fair Soul Ring, aka Hedron Archive. Oh, you should do.
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
I couldn't stand having it fluffy for any
What did you?
longer. I had a little razor.
Wow.
Surprise?
So resourceful.
Yeah.
I just love you so much.
I love you too.
This motherfucker has 29 lands. In a Locust God deck.
No.
By the way. In a 6 mana is it? 6 mana is it, Commander?
That's not gonna. What are they doing?
So get well soon, Skyfall.
Nothing anything fast.
Get well soon. Love the energy. Love the B movie. We're gonna keep it pushing to Mo's deck, which is silly and spooky. Looking for some ideas to keep my things alive better and moving a little faster. Getting Maronar to pop off. I can't believe I'm about to help a token player. Marinar's the focus need to improve speed. 35 creatures. I mean, if we want to improve speed, number 1, mono black, great at cheating mana. We have Dark Ritual, which is good. We probably need... We have a lot of rats to lay down. 35 land's probably fine. Beef is okay. I think Dragon Throne of Tarkir is... We don't have a lot of great targets for that. Karumonix is probably more helpful than Maronar most of the time. 4 cards for mana. Well, let's play test and see how long it takes. Do artifact land. Mannequin. Rat colony. For Ironhead Crusher. I question this. I don't think this is doing a damned thing for any part of your game plan. So we'll play Maronar. Oh, we could have played them instead of the Crusher because we had Mannequin. So turn 5, we would probably Rat Catcher. Sack the colony. Get 2 1/1s. And now we're messing around a little. So upkeep. Oh, we can fucking reveal it? Okay. I don't know enough about what rats I'm looking for, so I'm just going to play this. Sack this rat. Make 4 rats. So I guess your mom, is the slow part playing Maronar, is the slow part turning Maronar into death to the table? Because some easy things that we could do to speed up everything your deck is doing is you're in mono black, no reason not to have a little necklace. There's no reason for the white boy to not have a little pretty necklace. He normally dies immediately. That makes sense. Maronar is bullshit. And it is very much like, if you play him and you don't kill him, you are asking to get shot in the chest. So more than save me, Tortured Existence is good. Zephyr Boots is not going to save you. Rush of Vitality could save you. Rat's Feast won't. Persecute won't. Although it is very mean, and that does make me laugh. I'm with the hating here. Pacification Array won't. Foreboding Fruit is card draw, but it won't save you. I think what you need to... Since you're mono black, if Maronar is dying a lot, we want more shit like Reanimate. We want more ways to not have to pay for the commander tax. Now you can even... You're okay with getting Maronar just from graveyard to hand, and then we only pay for commander tax when Maronar happens to get exiled, but you do probably need to bank on somebody killing him at least once a game. And then things that will convert to death is Maronar. So you want untappers. I don't know if we can do that in black. There's the thorn. There is an infinite that I'm not going to recommend to you because I'm not a dipshit. How do I search specifically for... The other vehicle has an untap ability. That's pretty good for you. But really your only ways to speed this up are, 1, do some untapping. So Jandor's saddlebags can do it. These are abysmally fair, but they do it. And if you aren't untapping them, the only thing you can really do to speed up Maronar killing everybody, there's puppet strings. The only thing you can do to speed up Maronar killing everybody is getting either anthems or getting things that drain when stuff enters or leaves the battlefield. Quite frankly, I think you have too many rats. I think you have too many things that just have rat creature type. Umbral Mantle can do it. Sting is a really good shout, Ice Cave. Okay, why is this so fucking... Sting is awesome. What sort of the parents do? Yeah, also relatively fair, but not tremendously so. And all of the like, because you really just need 3 rats on the field to get the train going. And so I'm not sure that 30 of the cards in your deck need to be them. I think you need some card draw, you need some ways to get Marinar out. And then we already pulled up Patriarch's Seal. Leyline of the Void. Okay, so this is certainly a trauma response. I don't know what got done to you, but I know it was something mean if they hit you with that Leyline of the Void, or if you're hitting them with Leyline of the Void. Tevesh Zot? Okay. Real. I mean, if they're hitting you with Tevesh Zot, you need more Planeswalker removal, my goat. But here, to give them the problems of every poorly maintained Denny's kitchen, Mobile Garrison's helpful. I don't think Nezumi Grave Robber is that helpful. Pacification Array is super not helpful. Patron of the Nezumi is good. Other things that will help accelerate are this Ayara. Because I think these are black when you make them. Yeah, these are black. And so this is Drain. Gives you life back. See if we can get it done for on attack. Make people lose. Calculating Lich could do it if you're trying to go wide. Mirkwood Bats would also do it. There's really not too many of these. But more effects like Mirkwood Bats. You could also just totally risk it and do Coat of Arms. Every Kindred deck that thinks they're hot shit lives and dies by Coat of Arms, and sometimes the elf players just kill you out of fucking nowhere. But number one, I would say too many rats that are only valuable because they are rats. Not enough things that say, because I have made, sacrificed, or attacked with rat, you lose life. And that is what you need to get the speed up, on top of I would probably say more mana rocks, more 2 to 3 mana rocks. So like, even though your monocolor Arcane Signet is fine for you, even though your monocolor, you can probably even mess with Hedron Archive, because you've got a lot of well, right now you have a lot of 3 mana shit because it's all really bad rats. But Marinar is expensive. Most of the stuff you want to put in is going to use up a lot of mana, both to cast it and untap. I normally dig for pack rats and then discard for token copies. Yeah, at which point Marinar is not doing very much except giving pack rat fear, which is still meaningful, but is not a Marinar focused strategy. And so if we want to make a Marinar focused strategy, you want stuff that cares about the rat proletariat banding together and murdering people. There is also good rat support in the new Bloomburrow set, so I would check out Bloomburrow as well. I do like the energy. I like that you didn't go for any infinites, as most rat decks do. Most rat decks go for like the Thornbite Staff infinite, or do some type of Thrumming Stone thing. But I think you need more stuff that cares specifically about Marinar, and less stuff that just says, am rat. Also, Etega26, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome to the dog home, my friend. I appreciate your Bezos bucks. Also, Ephemeral Eel, thank you for the 8 months in a row at Tier 1. Welcome back to the dog home. Thank you for the sub. And Janbo C137, thank you as well for the 2 months in a row. Good morning to you as well, Eel. I'm pretty excited for Bloomborough. I think some stuff in it is pretty wacky, but a lot of stuff looks pretty fun. We're going to move on to Christian's spooky deck. I think it does well, but I'll take any suggestions to get my dragons out and committing arson faster. Tax fraud. Oh, Jesus, it's Dragon. Oh, my God. Yeah, the Eminence mechanic certainly is multiple life sentences. $36 lands. I hate that this is who's being responsible with their mana base. Yeah, Sarkhan makes sense. How greedy is this curve? Wow. Every cultivate effect / 3 mana rock in the game, and then just you get to do whatever you want, huh? Mirari's Wake. Leyline. Elemental Bond. I fucking hate it here. Alright, so we're ramping like a motherfucker. Oh my god, just Wooburg. I love how Fist of Suns says, what if we just gave you a 4 mana discount on Dragon? Alright. I mean, here's the thing, Christian. I see your game, and I see your game a little too well. You're not about to slide Tef Pro, Garruk's Uprising, every green ramp spell, and the Chromatic Lantern, Cavern of Souls, Dragon deck past me. This is Chat GPT head ass. Switch to type in tags? Okay. Opium farming, that's a good tag. False accounting. Alright. Grave robbery. Corporate espionage. This is all our fucking card draw? 4. I would like to point out 4 pieces of card draw, all conditional. Dragon trafficking, obstruction of justice, drug distribution. I just can't get past, we're 5 colors, and the best we can do for card draw is only when I play big thing. This hand looks fine. What did I say? We have Wooburg. The hand is fine. Alright, so it only took 5 turns. But now we are allowed to play our first fucked up dragon. Can we play this? Can we play this cat yet? We need 9 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I hate it. We do that. We draw, and then we just put Scale Lord Reckoner onto the field. And we draw again for Elemental Bond. This is why bullying's okay. I swear, man. This is why you just can't... We cannot let these dragon players have shit. Because look at what they do with it. Pre-game action, mana's fixed. Who cares if it enters tapped, because we're just going to do this. And then we Stomping Ground. We probably Kodama's Reach. It doesn't matter, because we have Wooburg. 6. Hazarets. fucking Mirim, double Gnawbone. This is a PowerPoint presentation that says dragons are cool. That's all it is. That's all we're fucking, of course we have Scion of Draco. I mean, we get a land, right? Every time we just do here, I'll do this to get Monument out, and then we'll take the turn off. And then we like storage counter. And then I think we can Reckoner. I want to discard. Oh, what the fuck? We cannot let the other dragon players find out about Steely Resolve. Fuck this land. Who needs it? Our mana's fixed. Then we fucking Vent Maw. Fuck this mana rock. Who needs it? Yeah, we have Gold Span. Why would we need... Oh, we'll just double dragon. We'll make 12 mana. We'll play Scion of Draco with our 12 mana. Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we? We'll play Goldspan. We'll get 2 treasures. Now we have Dragon. We swing 4 dragons. And we put Earthquake Shithead out. So this is, again, this is the most... I hope that every game for the rest of your life you play against Boros Goblin aggro. Sarkhan definitely approves this message. You are definitely achieving... You are definitely achieving the Joey Wheeler dream. But you just stand there for like 6 turns before the Joey Wheeler dream even starts. And I can't... I just... People being kind to other people fills me with so much anger, because it is the kindness of the public that allows decks like this to exist. And we will get you. This is a deck you lose to once and then bring a rat deck. This is the type of deck that would convince me to bring a Relentless Rats deck and just swing at you every single turn. Because, oh my god, like it's even roughly at the correct power level, because it is taking 9 or more turns to get going. And I'm not saying you are this person, but this is the type of deck I have seen from people who say, well, just let me do one funny thing. And then the one funny thing is winning the game on the spot with Terror of the Peaks. This is everything. Why don't we just play War, dude, if this is the deck? Because we don't have card draw. We don't have card draw. We play against this deck. We could settle things by just saying flip the top 15. Did you get Dragon? Congratulations, Goat. You did it. I am going to stand by. I will confess, these are some cool ass dragons. That said, this is, where's the slide for it? You've got us to make a new rule just for you. Because this says, boy howdy, I like dragons. It is 100%. I think EDH Rec should pay you every time you play this deck. You should get a royalty. I think in terms of getting them out faster, it is 100%. It's 100% card draw. It's always, I swear with you people, it's always the card draw. It's always like you absolutely need to hit ramp and you absolutely need to hit lands, and if you don't hit that, you're gonna hang out and do nothing. And your only card draw right now assumes that you are able to start playing big dragons. And so you need more card draw that's just like right, this is mana neutral. So like on turn 3, if you're missing ramp, this can draw you into a cultivate, and then you can play the cultivate. And then turn 4, you can play a dragon. Or it can draw you into Chromatic Lantern and you can play Chromatic Lantern. Like this is just a free piece of paper that says, I have the wrong cards in my hand. I would like to get out of jail free, please. And you turn it into the teacher and your hand magically gets better. And how much card draw should a deck have? Reborn Hagiomaniac, I would say like 10 cards. 10 cards that are dedicated to helping you draw cards. Any card that is conditional only counts for half. So they have 2 pieces of card draw. Because they have 4 cards. All of them have a condition attached to drawing the card other than casting it. And so each of these are worth half a point of card draw. Frantic Search is 1. You could do like, I mean, you could even Windfall, because as soon as you get Dragon, like you have so many good hits, who cares if you discard some? But that is the one suggestion to commit Arson faster, is you need ways to draw cards in order to guarantee that you can get the setup tax fraud done. You need to establish a small business before you can launder money. You only have 5 accountants in the deck. 3 of them are way too goddamn expensive. And so you need to get some opium farmed, or you need to get these 2 out, or you need to get these guys out before you're going to start working. We're going to move on to Dino Fido's deck, which is Spooky. A spooky +1/+1 counter deck that can keep up with faster shenanigans. The deck in one word is steroids. But before we get too deep into this, we're going to answer Akari Goldwing's personal question. Your most behated deck type to play and your most behated deck type to play against, no explanation required. My most behated deck type to play is specifically a deck that I was given by Joe Cherries when I played on Decked Out, which was a Maelstrom Wanderer deck with a Karuga companion. And so it didn't have anything below CMC 3 or less. Or below 3. And it just had massive, splashy, bullshit creatures. And everyone said, oh, it's so crazy, it's so wild. And it was fun to play the thing, but every turn it was play massive thing, past the turn as everybody just got my ass. And I do not enjoy playing Archenemy. I like having moves to make, sneaky plays to do. I do not enjoy playing at sorcery speed, and that deck was the epitome of hyper strong sorcery speed gameplay and just sorcery speed gameplay. My most behated deck type to play against is the Joda deck and the Dragon decks we just looked against, and that is not necessarily the list itself, but it is down to whether or not the pilot, how the pilot presents their deck. Because it is as soon as this is going, it's going to be bullshit. And if anybody represents it as like, just let me get it going a little bit, I can't, because it getting going a little bit and it running over my feet, and soon the rest of my body is like that. I can't trust you for a moment. And so those are my behated decks to play against. So with that said, I'm going to use the bathroom, and then we're going to do this next deck. Personality matrix is here. Whoops. Okay. Headphones on. It's fucking gamer time. Vorinclex. Yes, there's only 29 lands. No, I won't be adding more. This is a very efficient, traditional green stompy deck. Crammed full of ramp and mana dorks to keep the curve manageable and land count low. +1/+1s everywhere. The main win con is an explosive turn and dropping a bunch of roided up green creatures with the help of counter doublers and hardened scales effects. I can achieve huge creatures with little mana required. Originally the deck was fairly low power. As my playgroup grew in power, I was forced to make some much needed changes. I recently added a lot of creature protection. I hope you enjoy this deck as much as I have these past years. I hate to say it. This is the explanation that justifies 29 lands. I will point out the other 29 lander we saw today. Its curve was crammed full of 4 mana draw 2 spells in order to make sure that it existed exclusively on Hopium. Now, because this person is a green player, I fully believe them to be a liar. I fully believe that they are saying lies to me right now. So let's go down to the curve and see if I can't trust my own Is It brethren, but I can trust the green player. Okay, you motherfucker. Let's get real. Let's get real for a moment. Spring Heartland 2. I fucking hate you. I hate you. Railway Brawler. How is there room for these? I looked at the curve. How do you have room for this? Okay. Let's just play test it. Oh, of course you got a 2-drop. Hey. Of course you got a 2-drop that's going to lead perfectly into Mana Gorge or Hydra. I swear to God, I hate you. I swear to God. Oh. Oh, hey. In Search of Greatness? Sure. Nothing right now. But let's play this. So on our upkeep, I'll play Mana Gorge or Hydra for free. Can I adapt? I can't adapt yet. I'll play Emerald Medallion. Can't play anything for free. Oh, but we can scry 1. So I'll say, we'll put that down. I'll say I would not have wanted to draw that. And so instead, we'll get Elemental Bond. Play Emissary Green. I'll just play Emissary Green. 5 mana spell, turn 5. We're on curve. It's fair. But on my next upkeep, I'll play Kodama of the East Tree. And then, can I? No, I can't tap out for my commander. Thank God. I was going to throw up. I was going to throw up if I was able to play my commander. I'm going to play Elemental... No, I did not draw. Why do they keep getting away with it? Why do they keep getting away with it? I will play my commander and put out O'Hare Kaslam for free with Kodama of the East Tree's ability. Are you fucking happy now? I'll swing. I'm sure this is like a 1919, by the way, now. I'm sure this is like a 1919. That's true. In Search of Greatness carried the whole hand. So I'll simply turn to Nature's Lore. I'll turn 3... Growing Rights. Top 4, reveal a creature. I think we only have the 1 hit, so I'll take this. I will turn 4. Vorinclex. I will turn 5. Play my commander. I will turn 6. Probably Elemental Bond. Trampled Contaminator. Draw a card. They got lucky. I will turn 1 Birds of Paradise. I will turn 2 Emerald Medallion. I will turn 3 Visits. I will turn 4 Vorinclex. Okay. Take your designation and get the fuck out. I swear to God. I mean, I'm sure people in pods play Removal Dare Brain, but we also aren't. It's like, oh no, they're gonna kill my commander. I guess I'll simply entwine Tooth and Nail. Or like, if they kill my commander with anything but an exile, oh no, I'll simply Unnatural Restoration. And so I think that I do think it's possible for this deck to gas out. I think it is. I think if it doesn't hit something that gives it a card every time you play a big shitter, it will just kind of. But I am impressed. This is, I think, the second deck we have ever seen with sub 30 lands just fucking hum. The other one was a Narset list, and that was like 30 cards where one mana either cantrips or one mana do something to get us cards. So I do think it's a little fragile in that sense. I think it's fragile in the card draw sense. It is disgusting in terms of how resilient it is from a mana perspective. That was the fewest mulligans we have done all day, and every time it got to dog shit cheater mana production on 31 total lands. Oh yeah, the green Aragorn deck did it too. That's crazy. I hate you. I am gonna vomit after stream. I wish you luck in your arms race. I hope they get you. I really do. I really hope they get you, bro. This hurts me. You sit down at the table with this and you tell me this has 29 lands, 31 lands, whatever. I am writing you off so quickly, and then just a hammer is coming into my head 5 turns into the game. What the fuck? I still just don't even believe it. I refuse to believe this. Oh yeah, this hand sucks. Yeah, now what the fuck are you gonna do? Now that you only have 2 basic forests in your hand. With your turn 5 commander again. It defies statistics. This is wizardry. This is witchcraft. This is... They won't stop. That's what, 4 or 5 times in a row? It's just ripped like, it's solved. You thought we were going to be mana screwed? No, we're not. 29, 31 lands. We're not gonna get mana screwed. I simply wouldn't miss, not even land drop. I simply wouldn't miss the savior drop. This dude is fucking Lord and Savior maxing. We're gonna move on to Demigod Peanuts deck. Artifact, create / sack, synergy. Scary. The deck in one word is Arte Fingering Axe. Get Brienne. God, goddamn 13-year-olds. This deck is built with the idea that Mycosynth Lattice is the real commander, not Brea. Lots of tutors to find it, and then ways to munch on the charcuterie board of artifacts. I think I have enough mana rocks to warrant 33 lands, but I will be the first to admit I have a copium addiction. I love that the 33 land person is like, yeah, this is copium. And the other deck is like, I have 29. I'm not putting in more. I wouldn't miss. And they're the ones who are right. Upgrades welcome. Now, I will point out to all of you, this is scary. So we are working in the mindset of this is made to fuck you up. Also, the Calamity, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. Welcome back to the dog home, my friend. Or dog heaven. Green players be like indeed. Okay, so we have a ton of card advantage and tutors. So we're doing Mycosynth Lattice so that we can sacrifice... Where the fuck is Mycosynth? So 9 things to hard find Mycosynth Lattice. Ramp, yeah, wheelchair, ADA compliance. Lands. Kimchi cards. Oh, I guess we're turning these into... I have no idea what aspect of these are kimchi, because I eat kimchi a lot. These certainly aren't spicy. Maybe they're meant to be. Maybe they're just like, no, it is baleful. Oh, kimchi is just generally good. Okay, yeah. Goat 2009 Tiger Woods. Hopefully this gives them PTSD. Time Sieve will do it, yeah, for sure. Hellkite Tyrant. Oh god. Tef Pro. 2 condoms are better than 1. Okay, here's the thing. To dispel, just in case anyone in my audience is younger, this is not only a myth. 2 condoms are in fact worse than 1. 2 condoms will increase the friction between the condoms and will near guarantee that they rip and or burst. 2 condoms. The tag is funny. I will give you points on the tag. However, this is misinformation. 2 are not better than 1. 2 are worse than 1. It's not 3. 3 are worse than 2. You need 5. You need 5. Control. Blind obedience is redonkulous, but sure. Okay, we got Hengegate, Pathway, and a Dream, but we have Rhystic Study, so the hand will probably work out, right? I guess it fucking won't. Never mind, we have Rhystic Study. I think we win now. It's another Rhystic Study opener, and of course we get the fucking Esper Sentinel land straight off the top. I'll say that we draw 1 for this. We can't limb duels off this turn, so I won't even pay that life. And then we'll Archway, and then we Rhystic Study, and then my question is, if Mycosynth Lattice is your real commander, make gnomes The 4Best Game, thank you for the 10 pound sterling super chat. Mauled, what if I wear 2 on my fingers? Is that better than 1? Shut up. I will get you. Oh, I think I also missed a... Panama Chong, if you are still around, thank you very much for that $5 super chat. Submitting a deck for review is a Patreon redeem. So it's the $25 Patreon tier, and $25 a month gets you 1 deck roast a month. Also, Lunarchus9601 and Ace of Nox, thank you for the Twitch follows. Welcome to the doghouse, my friends. So I think this is like... This is goddamn Phantom Menace levels of build up and then letdown. We have the support structure. We have the support structure to make sure we get Mycosynth Lattice. And then we have a lot of stuff that is generically good with artifacts, but I don't see anything that is like Cavernhorn Dragon is good, but it makes treasures. And then Brutaclad's good. Okay, Phyrexian Metamorph's kind of sick. So you're up to 3. Wake the Past is good. This is for tokens only, so I question it a little bit. Oh, there's just a whole section. Okay, 25. I decry that this is true Mycosynth synergy, because this already hits creatures anyway, and I don't think you care about like enchantments and planeswalkers coming in tapped. Dockside is very good. Oh, lands. Oh no. Okay, that is horrible. Or let me put it to you this way. Outside of a couple cards... Oh, it's too mean, but it's supposed to be scary. If the deck's supposed to be scary, you're generally not... So if you are pulling punches on the premise of I don't want to be mean, then I will reorient a little bit, because scary is typically meant to mean we are that bitch. We are going to put it on you. It's going to get done to you. Be ready for it. I mean, we got like 9 tutors. We're talking about the Karn lock is too mean. Then if you want to be that bitch, I need to know where Vandal Blast is. You can't do March of Progress. Most of your Is this the fucking... Why is it pulling up 1 card instead of... Most of your cards that are... Yeah, you need like Anzrak's Rampage. Most of the cards that you say, these are Mycosynth synergies, a lot of them synergize with Mycosynth, but would also synergize with a normal Breya deck that just used a lot of artifacts. Breya decks already want to have like a shitload of Thopters and a shitload of artifacts out. And so like Archway of Innovation, yes, Mycosynth Lattice makes you even more artifacts, so you can improvise even more. Every Breya deck playing this is working whether or not you do. Darksteel Forge, same thing. Dockside's hot. Emery, same thing. in artifact decks, most of the fucked up things you want to play are artifacts. Forensic Gadgeteer, same thing. Or it would be like, I guess the thing that would make me feel like this was a Mycosynth Lattice deck would be a lot of otherwise not great cards that suddenly become wonderful synergies because they're artifacts. Threefold Thunderhulk, already a good beater. Like Thopter Spy Network, you were already playing this anyway. Smothering Tithe, you were playing this anyway. You were playing Psy anyway. You were playing Brutaclad anyway. You were playing Dockside anyway. The things you wouldn't play, you aren't playing anyway, are Anzrag's Rampage, Dismantling Wave, combining like Navinrial with your stuff being indestructible. March of the Machines, which wipes the lands. Like, if you want to be that bitch, you need to get you need to have all of this work you're doing to get Mycosynth Lattice turn into something. And I don't think what it's turning into right now is any better than just playing Breya. I believe that it works. I believe that it is a functional commander deck that has a lot of artifact synergies. I think this deck would be better off 9 times out of 10 just not looking for Mycosynth Lattice. Just play Breya and play Anointed Procession and Brutaclad instead. Like, why would I tutor for Mycosynth Lattice when I could tutor for Brutaclad? Or Smothering Tithe or Psy. And so it's not that it's a bad Breya deck, it's that it's, if you're telling me the gimmick is the secret sauce is Mycosynth Lattice, I only see I see like single digit things where Mycosynth Lattice is actually the secret sauce, and for the rest of it, I see a card that should be in Breya anyway. And so I want you to really think, I want you to go home, really think about your gimmick, think about how you can hate harder, think about how you can hate more effectually, how you can hate in a more targeted manner, how you can keep these fools playing one turn behind curve, and then make it happen. Because right now, this is... Oh yeah, 1 mana, blow up a land. Gorilla Shaman will fucking do it. And so it's a bad deck. You are going to hell for this deck. I want to be so clear. If you play this deck against me, we are never speaking again. But if you have a scary table, this is how you make this deck scary. Right now, you just have a Breya deck that has a ton of things that all say artifact or token on them. And that's what's pulling them together. And so if you want to have... There's the Vandal Blast. And so if you really want them to fear Mycosynth Lattice and really feel like Breya is a placeholder, you need some more of this shit that's going to really capitalize on everything they own suddenly being a robot. And with that, we're going to close out the stream for today. We will be back Monday playing some MTG Arena. I hope to see you all there. Thank you to everybody who watched, followed, subscribed, and supports me on Patreon. I appreciate it, every little bit of it, and I hope you all enjoyed your roasting. I hope you're having a good weekend. I'm going to an RCQ. Remember, everybody, stay up, stay safe, stay toxic.